guys remember earlier, the same time we were seasoning up the ribs, we got the lamb seasoned up and on the grill. Beautiful caramelization. What we're looking to do here is get char, caramelization, that little bit of smoke from the grill, and that's all going to contribute to this beautiful lamb shoulder braised spring lamb, looking gorgeous, smelling divine. So good. We have that set aside in a casserole dish just like that, and we're going to put our braising liquid together. We have onions, garlic, a little bit of the seasoning that we did on the actual lamb itself. We're adding a little bit of Devil's Right Hand from fall, that amber lager, to the braising liquid. We're creating braising liquid right now. We're going to add a little bit of stock, about a cup or so of stock. Bring that up to a boil. And then we're going to add that to the lamb. When you braise, you don't want to fully cover, because when you fully cover, that is stewing. So we're just bringing that liquid up about halfway up the pan, just like that, so the top's exposed. When that top is exposed, we're going to actually end up creating more deep, rich caramelization in the oven. We're going to cover that with a little foil. Put that in the oven, 325 degrees, for about 3 hours. And we're going to end up with some gorgeousness. At the same time, guys, on the stove, I have some onions going, garlic. These we're going to sweat real nice for our pea and herb puree. Arugula, peas, onions, garlic, a little bit of cold butter is going to come together for this gorgeous puree. Forgot my towel. So we now have the lamb in the oven for 3.5 hours. Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. Deep caramelization, pull apart tender, decadence, gorgeousness. Look at that. Boom, just ready to mac down, you guys. It is going to be so good. So I'm going to set this aside over here, and we'll be ready to plate here shortly. Got my onions going. I'm adding my peas. Nice spring peas to that. We're not looking to cook the crap out of these peas. We're looking to just warm them through, because we're going to add that to our blender with cold butter, and it's going to create this gorgeous puree. Arugula is going to add some more vibrant green color, in addition to buttery, peppery goodness that arugula has. It's going to be so good. I'm excited. So we have our lamb ready. I'm going to show you guys something real quick that we're going to do too for our lamb. We're going to create a little sauce. So we're taking the braising liquid that was in the pan with the lamb, that braising liquid. Now all that lamb gorgeousness has infused. We're going to bring this down just a hair with a touch of butter, and that's going to be our sauce. Super easy, kind of like a pan sauce of sorts. Slight reduction. So that we're going to get ripping in one. Our peas are pretty much warmed through right here. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Always season as you go. Those are almost rocking right there. I'm going to grab my butter. All right, my braising liquid has reduced just a hair. I'm going to turn the heat off, add about a pat of butter, maybe about a half a tablespoon. Heat's off. That butter is going to just emulsify. We're using that word again. We're bringing fat into liquid, becoming one sauce this way. If you pull this off the heat and do this, you're gently working it into the sauce, as opposed to trying to boil that in. It's just going to end up separating. So you kind of gently creating a little butter gravy of sorts with lamb juices and onions and all that spice and beer and stock. And we're good. Good to go. Onions are good. with the peas. We're gonna go over here and puree these up and plate up. Simple as that. Come together pretty quickly, guys. I hope you're enjoying. I'm ready to eat. I hope you guys are ready to eat. I need a beer and I need some food. Well, let's do this. Woo! All right, guys. Here we go. We have our peas and our garlic and our onions that have kind of been brought together. Those onions have sweated, added some gorgeous flavor. Little salt and pepper. We're going to go into the same kind of blender that I used earlier for the emulsion. And we're going to fill that up about halfway or so. Putting hot stuff in a blender will create steam pressure and you might have an explosion, so we want to make sure we don't overload this thing. I'm adding a good amount of arugula because I love the stuff. And then watch this, guys. We're going to take, so there's warm peas and onions in there. We're going to take about 3 pads of butter, cold butter, and we're good to go. That's going to create a gorgeous puree. If at first your puree doesn't come together fluidly, you can add a little bit of warm water to kind of loosen things up. I gotta plug this thing in. What the heck? Boom and bow. Plugged in, power on. Kind of pulse it, bring some of the warm stuff together. Let it start to melt. All right. Because that was warm, this might pop a little bit on me. Let some of the steam out. There we go. Perfection. You guys, this is going to be so... Look at how pretty that is. The arugula. It's like my favorite thing. I think you guys probably already know that by now. But arugula. Boom. We're going down the middle. We're going to take this all the way up the sides of our bowl. So you can get some in every bite. But you also have a gorgeous little beautiful... Oh, the lamb is ready to roll. I'm just going to give that a little roll in its own braising liquid down the middle. Remember that little bit of butter and the braising liquid we brought together for this gorgeous little sauce. Grab a spoon real quick. You don't need a lot of this. That braising liquid is strong with great flavor. That butter's kind of softening that up a little bit. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We took some shallots, sliced them just like this, a little bit of vinegar, sugar, and mustard seed to create a little pickled shallot. I also added a couple chunks of beet because I like to, try and bring some flavor, some color in there. And these are gonna help with that decadence and richness and unctuousness that the lamb brings. It's going to help coat those, but look at this. These gorgeous pickled shallot with that green background, that lamb. I mean, this is a pretty dish, and that, to me, says spring. Spring lamb, shoulder that's been grilled, then braised, gorgeous pea puree, butter, arugula, garlic, onion. That braising liquid that got brought down just a little bit with a couple pads of butter off the stove, swirled around, and those pickled onions. That right there with Fall Devil's Right Hand amber lager, kind of a caramely lager, but still bright and drinkable, is going to be fantastic. I'm going to go dig into this. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Once again, Beer Dinner at Home, number 5 from O'Brien's Pub. Tyson here. Love you guys. Let's keep it rolling. Eat well, drink well, stay safe. Cheers.